Hello and welcome to Tech Gadgets. Today I'm going to show you the all-new Ford Freestyle 2018 version. And before going to show you the car, I would like to thank Modi Ford Karimnagar for allowing me to shoot the all-new Ford Freestyle hatchback. And if you want to purchase any Ford car, you can contact the contact number given below. So let's continue to the car. The cross hatchback segment in India is a strange one. On one end of the spectrum, you have the likes of Renault Kwid that do incredible sales figures, and on the other, you have the likes of Fiat Urban Cross and Hyundai i20 Active that aren't as hot as we would have expected them to be. And in the middle, we have the likes of Maruti Suzuki Celerio X, Toyota Etios Cross, and Maruti Suzuki Ignis, all of which have their respective fans and buyers. And strangely barring maybe the Maruti Suzuki Ignis and the Renault that manage healthy sales every month, none of the other cross hatchbacks have actually made much of an impact in Indian automotive scene. Which, considering the fact that the Indian market loves its plastic cladding subcompact SUVs, is rather strange. And now Ford has jumped into fray with a cross version of its Figo hatchback, with a lot more changes thrown into the mix with the all-new Ford Freestyle. So let's start with the way it looks. For starters, the basic shape that Figo hatchback has continues. Here with a few changes, you get a different front grille, different bumpers, different side skirts, fender extensions, and different alloy wheels as well. And of course, considering the fact that the Ford treats this as a whole new car, there are no Figo badges anywhere, just the new Freestyle badge on the rear boot lid. The new grille is a lot sportier than the one on the Figo used to have. It gets a gloss, the rear boot lid, and the new grille is lot sportier than the on the Figo used to have. It gets very gloss black treatment with a nice chunky honeycomb design. The bumper gets two very distinct styling features on both sides, and it gets a plastic silver skid plate. Strangely though, Ford has skipped the daytime running lights even on the fully loaded titanium variant. And it would have most certainly helped differentiate the new car to its older version. And move to the side, and you have the crossover like side plastic claddings on the wheel, arches on the side skirt with a set of new 15-inch split 4-spoke alloy wheels. And the wheels have been painted in a shade of dark grey that instantly make the car look a lot nicer. But the design itself is a little polarizing overall. And there are, however, some nice design touches up close. The light, slight concave profile to the 4-notch type design elements between the spokes. You also get a racing strip decal on the lower section of the doors, and luggage racks on the roof that are capable of taking up to 15 kilos in weight as well. And moving around the rear, and the same design treatment that the front bumper gets continues here too. The silver painted plastic skid plates, chunky plastic cladding, and the plastic forks vents and bumper indents give it raised look, and the new almost smoked out tail lamps are nice finishing touch. Now, unlike some of the other cross hatchbacks in the country that have just a plastic bits and nothing else to go along with, the Ford Freestyle also has new suspension bits, so you get a higher riding car with 190 mm of ground clearance. Not only is that a very respectable figure for any hatchback to have, and especially considering the horrible roads that we have in most parts of the country. But to put that into perspective, the EcoSport ground clearance is just 10 mm more at 200 mm. In fact, it is due to the upright stance that the Ford Freestyle looks purposeful, almost menacing. But if you do consider one, please do opt for a brighter shade. And one of the big reasons the Figo wasn't doing as well as its competitors in India was because of its interiors. And now Ford has fixed that big HL seals by offering what can only be described as interior package that is fully loaded. For starters, the plain Jane black and silver dashboard combination has been replaced by a more vibrant reddish brown dashboard with gloss black accents, and it is almost a hark back to that bright red dashboard that was offered on the first generation Figo in India about a half decade ago. And then you have the crown jewel of the Ford range, the infotainment and touchscreen package as well. And the new Ford Freestyle gets the 6-inch touchscreen coupled with the Sync 3 infotainment setup. Now, although at first glance it does look a little smaller, we think this is more than enough for the little hatchback, especially considering the fact that it is a high quality and most importantly high definition touchscreen with the best infotainment user interface on any sub 10 lakh car in India today. As if the larger EcoSport, the Freestyle infotainment system is a fluid and easy initiative to use as the likes of your Apple or Android smartphone. And yes, it has gets both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto too. The Freestyle also gets two USB ports up front, a feature that is always super useful in today's day and age along with the bits and bobs like a start stop button and automatic climate control as well. The Freestyle, unlike the EcoSport, also gets a nice instrument cluster with silver accents that really complement the rest of the dashboard. You also get a ton of storage options, including 7 cup and bottle holders for the front passengers, between the ones available on the door and the center console. You also get a small soft touch shelf just below the climate control and another squarish cup hole to store knickknacks just behind the gear level. Ford has also changed the seat cloth upholstery to a new and more vibrant one, but the most thoughtful bit in the whole car has to be carpets instead of offering standard cloth mats. And Ford has instead offered a more durable and certainly a lot easier to maintain modular rubber mat that can be taken out, dirt, etc., and rinsed easily. And the same mat with Freestyle branding is also present in the boot. Other small yet thoughtful features include a small hidden storage space inside the dashboard and a digital compass on the infotainment as well. And the feature continues on the safety front like the Ford products in India. It comes with two airbags and ABS comes as standard along with the reverse parking sensors. The Freestyle also gets 6 airbags on its top specification titanium variant along with the whole host of safety features. The Freestyle also gets electronic stability control, active roller protection, and for the first time ever in segment traction control is also available. The Freestyle also gets Ford's emergency assistance program that shuts off the pump and shares a GPS location with emergency services. And the Ford Freestyle also debuts a new petrol engine. The motor has Dragon engine family has debuted in 1.5 liter from an EcoSport last year. Is at 1.2 liter unit that makes 95 bhp of peak power and 120 newton meters of peak torque. The engine is a 3-cylinder unit that is still naturally aspirated. Yes, in this era, turbocharged tiny engines, Ford has made a new naturally aspirated motor that gives a decent fuel efficiency figure of 19 kilometers per liter according to ARAI test results. And the engine is impressive, and the power on paper translates to the power on tarmac, and unlike a lot of other 1.2 liter engines that misses out on good mid-range power. The Freestyle gets that right. You don't need to shift down all the time in order to take over a slow moving vehicle, and 3-digit speeds come up in easy timings. And the new engine also gets a new gearbox. The petrol is mated to a new 5-speed manual unit that is, for a lack of a better word, just right. Gear shift action is well weighted and the gear level slots in its place just right, and there is a bit of overrun between gears sometimes when the engine revs stay higher than expected, but that must be due to emissions also. The new gearbox also comes with a much lighter clutch, making start-stop traffic a breeze. And that said, there is an automatic option just yet. The Ford Freestyle also gets a diesel option with the same 1.5 liter unit that does duty in the EcoSport. The diesel makes 99 bhp of peak power, 215 newton meters of peak torque, and has a fuel economy of 24.4 kmpl, but more than that on engine on later day. So as we mentioned earlier, the Ford Freestyle gets a different suspension setup as compared to its normal hatchback. Now, usually the moment you increase the ride height of a car, suspension finish usually goes south, considering the fact that the center of gravity is much higher. However, in the Ford Freestyle, this isn't very noticeable. The car still handles remarkably well and possibly the best in its segment, although there is a tad bit more roll thrown into the mix now. The Ford Freestyle also gets a little more floaty when it comes to higher speeds, but it isn't to a point where it affects handling. And luckily, the direct steering feedback and quick changes in direction that were the signature traits of Fords in the past is very much a feature on Freestyle too. And it's including ABS as standard in all variants, and ABS really does help, especially if you intend to drive the Freestyle quick on smaller offbeat roads like everything, because the brake pedal feedback is on point, although it does dip a bit. Under braking, the Freestyle is very well behaved. In fact, between the brake, steering and suspension, even with its raised ride height, the Freestyle is one of the nicest handling cars out there. And pricing for the petrol starts at 5.9 lakhs for the base model and going all the way up to 6.49 lakhs for the Titanium Plus, with the diesel ranging from between 6.9 to 7.89 lakhs. These are all ex-showroom prices, and to be honest, the car has just one true rival in the Indian market today, the Maruti Suzuki Ignis. The Ignis petrol does undercut the Freestyle when it comes to petrol variants, but it is more expensive when comparing to diesel. And while the Maruti would have been a clean sweep over most cars in the past with the Freestyle, Ford finally has a competitor that is cool and funky enough and has enough technology to take it on. So hope that guys you like this update. Please comment and subscribe for my channel for more tech and auto related updates. And don't forget to click on bell icon to get new video notifications. Thank you.